I'm Jonathan Reed-Edwards and I work at Charing Cross Road, Foyles, and I work in the philosophy and film departments, and I'm here to talk about Kim Stanley Robinson's Aurora. It's a science fiction book set 500 years from now, and they're travelling on a ship called a generation ship, which is basically a ship that is meant to travel for sort of hundreds of thousands of years in order to find a new home for us to live on, because basically, as you'd expect, we've screwed up planet Earth. And basically ask the question of what makes us human. Is it Earth or is it the people we grow up with? And also, and this is where the book gets really interesting, is if you're on a ship for thousands of years, hundreds of years too, whatever it is, if you know where you're going the whole time, what if you're the generation that gets there and you realise, I don't really like where we've ended up. Maybe I want to go back. And that's what it's supposed, it's that idea of really how important is Earth to us as human beings. It's a purely character-driven thing. I mean, there is the story of the idea of travelling to another galaxy and then possibly coming back, possibly staying there, but it's really about people and why they make those decisions. I should probably say one of the most important things about this book and why I recommend it more than any other Kim Stanley Robinson and probably most other books at the moment is the narrator. The book is actually narrated by the spaceship. The idea of a computer telling a very human story works kind of beautifully because it's almost like Pinocchio, or even you look at something like recently like Star Trek Data, like an android, anything like that. It's the contrasts of the two that highlight the human elements of it. So if we're just telling a story about, you know, why a child laughs or a child cries, I just have to say that and it evokes lots of images. But then to get to the essence of why, as human beings, it's quite a strange thing to laugh, it's quite a strange thing to cry, it's great to look at that from an outsider's point of view. My relationship to sci-fi primarily came from a film side, so you know, I love things like Star Wars, Star Trek, things like that. And I guess though, when it comes to hardcore sci-fi, for me there's something which I can never always quite dive into. So if it's sort of, I don't know, the fifth throne of Emperor Xanthi, that blog, like, unless it's Douglas Adams, which is hilarious and lampoons that, I'm more into the human element. So I love Ray Bradbury, I love Kurt Vonnegut, things like that. And also a lot of my reading is sort of all over the shop, partly from working in a bookshop. So for me, science fiction, if it's really whatever it is, it just has to be relatable, like any story. And I think the best sci-fi is about that. And the best sci-fi, like Philip K. Dick, it talks about now, but you know, we jump around all over the place. It could be 500, 1,000 years from now, but really we're talking about now.